Hey everyone, it's Leilani for God, and I'm back with another video. So I'm making this video because unfortunately I had a bad dream about Tokyo a few nights ago. I'm going to tell you guys about it in a couple of minutes, but I figured the best thing to do would try to be to get to the bottom of why Tokyo is the way that she is, if it's possible for us to do a little more research and investigation, because you guys may or may not know, I did a few videos about Tokyo, and this one is going to be different, just as all of the videos I've done on her have been different in terms of exploring a different area of her life and to figure out if her recent transition from Tokyo Toni to leading for God is authentic or is it phony. I want to focus in this video on generational curses, and it goes back to Tokyo Toni's father. So that's what we're going to be looking at a little more closely in this video. Tokyo did an interview about a month ago on YouTube's Real Life Productions channel, and she mentioned briefly that she has a famous father. And so I did a little research, and of course people in my comments section, they helped me by telling me that her father's name is T.C. Tolliver, and he's a part of this band called the Plasmatics. So of course I Googled it, and here is her father, T.C. Tolliver. He's a drummer. He does heavy metal rock style music. He's doing the 666 hand sign, which is 666 stands for the mark of the beast. All right, so already I'm going to raise some eyebrows about, does this have anything to do with how Tokyo Toni and by default Black Chyna turned out? Because, you know, there's an old saying, the sins of the father are revisited upon the children. And there's also just like a slang type of saying that it's a father's responsibility to keep his daughter or daughters off the pole. And that saying basically means that if a man is not in his children's lives, his daughters could end up in prostitution and stripping and things like that. So we're going to be looking at that in this video. A little bit more about Tokyo Toni's father. T.C. Tolliver is a drummer best known for his performances with the Queen of Shock rock Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics, performing with the legendary Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead, and touring with Kiss on the Creatures of the Night tour. With his blast of heavy metal vibes on the drums and background vocals, TC has always been a game changer of sorts. Many have said that he helped take the Plasmatics from punk rock to heavy metal. So the only celebrities that I noticed in his biography is the rock band Kiss. They've had a lot of success in mainstream media. Here's a picture of them, which probably most people will recognize because they wear this distinctive face masks, black and white, which is people who believe in like the devil or Satan or Lucifer, the goat, Baphomet. So many names, right, for the devil. People who believe in that, they have meanings even for the colors that they wear. Black and white refers to the duality of good and bad, and the chessboard that they feel like life is a chessboard and people are just pawns on it. All right, so they have meanings behind all of this symbolism. So we have the leader, Gene Simmons. He's doing devil horns on both hands. He's got the tongue out and devil horn on the other hand. This guy has the lightning bolt, which is another demonic symbolism. This one has a one eye symbol as well as a star over the eye. So stars and one eyes are also demonic symbolisms. All right, guys, so these guys are making it very well known that they are in the devil's network, even when they're not all dressed up in their makeup and their hair and stuff. You see the leader of the band is still doing the devil's hand sign. So they have to constantly, promote their affiliation with the devil, even when they're not in costume. I did a search for why is heavy metal music called heavy metal. It says here the term metal is believed to have come from the hippie movement when heavy meant deep or serious. Metal music revolves around a few key components: heavily distorted guitar riffs and chords, powerful drumming, extra low-range bass notes, and aggressive or throaty vocals. At the bottom, it says, what does heavy metal do to the body? And it says heavy metals disrupt metabolic functions in two ways. They accumulate and thereby disrupt function in vital organs. They displace the vital nutritional minerals from their original place. So the reason why I read both definitions of heavy metal music for one, and then what is actual heavy metals once they form in the body through the food supply, through the water supply, they cause disruptions. The reason why I read both definitions of heavy metals is because in both cases, it implies toxicity. Okay? It's not healthy to have disruptive or distorted music, just like it's not healthy to have disruptive chemicals in the body. All right, but this is the type of music that Tokyo Toni's father makes. T.C. Tolliver from the Plasmatics. He looks very much, or I should say Tokyo Toni and Black Chyna look very much like him. Same kind of shape of the whole skull, the big eyes, the wide forehead, the high cheekbones, the light complexion, so we can definitely see the resemblance in T.C. Tolliver and Tokyo Toni and Black Chyna. So I don't know why there's a lot of secrecy around him and why he doesn't necessarily speak on Tokyo Toni or Black Chyna in public. But it does explain how Tokyo and Chyna got into the entertainment industry. Here we have T.C. Tolliver with two women. They're both doing the devil horns, and T.C. Tolliver is wearing a skull type of t-shirt. Skull and Bones is another one of the Devil Network's favorite symbolisms. Here we have Gene Simmons again from the band Kiss doing the devil horns. Machine Gun Kelly doing the devil horns to the forehead. A random person doing the one eye symbol, devil horns, and tongue out. These are all their symbols. Eminem, the rapper, doing the devil horns to the forehead. Okay, so the fact that these guys are putting the devil horns to the forehead is just showing you that's the reason why they throw up the hand sign. It represents the devil's horns, and it shows their allegiance to that particular spiritual form of worship. Here we have, it says New Christian Hip Hop. This guy is doing devil horns. Okay, we have here Snoop Dogg. He's wearing a Skull and Bones rock and roll band Metallica t-shirt. Looks like Snoop also has the Christian Jesus cross on top of his devil worshipping t-shirt, a one-eye symbol on his pants, and devil horns on both hands. Okay? So you cannot trust these people. Here we have a random person, devil horns, one-eye symbol, tongue out, rock and roll t-shirt, the Rolling Stones. All right, so I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. The connection between these signs and symbols and these people who are in mainstream and what it means to them. Here we have Beyonce doing the 666 on both hands, just like T.C. Tolliver was doing a 666 on one hand, and Jay-Z doing the devil horns. Okay, and they both seem really serious about their hand signs. They got their hands out really extended, like make no mistake. They worship the devil. Here we have Kelly, what's her name? Kelly Rowland. Okay, tongue out, devil horns. Okay, you can't trust any of these people. Jim Carrey in the movie The Mask, which came out in 1994, doing the 666 hand sign. We have here underground rapper, battle rapper, Math Hoffa, who has a very successful channel on YouTube, hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views on his channel. He's doing the devil horns. And he's here with a tattoo artist named Caesar from a show, reality TV, Black Ink Crew. He's also doing the devil horns. Okay? So these guys aren't necessarily as rich and famous as the rock and roll guys, but you know, they're still involved in influencing the public. Okay, and you see that they showing their allegiance to the devil. Again, Math Hoffa, the battle rapper. It says here, they told me after I sold my soul, Pan would help clear my problem downstairs. So, again, this guy is just a battle rapper named Math Hoffa. This is like some type of league for rappers that didn't make it in mainstream. They do battle events for entertainment, for money, and this guy is part of that. It's not even like a popular mainstream form of music, but he's still in with the Devil's Network. Here it says, shocking, demon takes 16-year-old girl to hell. Okay, this is somebody who's a ministry channel, and they did a video about this. Demon takes 16-year-old girl to hell. And look at her hand signs. Okay. Here, somebody worshiping Lucifer. He's got on the red robe, the devil horns on both hands. He's got the upside down star on his robe. And he is giving his worship to Lucifer. They call Lucifer the light. That's why the lightning bolt is one of their symbols of worshiping the devil. Future, the rapper Future and SZA on Beautiful. Hashtag God did. These people really think the devil is some type of religious figure. And you see they have, it says Future and SZA on Beautiful. This was posted on SZA's Twitter. And it's a picture of a double-headed goat. Okay? And these are the people who are given the platform to influence the masses. Here we have Elon Musk, the Devil's Knight for Halloween. Truth be told, none of these people are for us. To them, this is one big game. Baphomet and the upside down cross, pure blasphemy. Okay, this is from Broken Matrix TV. Elon Musk, he's wearing this devil costume. It has the Baphomet devil head on it with the horns and an upside down cross. Okay. And of course, we hear about Elon Musk and whatever he's talking about because, again, he's in the Devil's Network. Here we have some YouTubers, the whole family doing the devil horns on both hands. It's a beautiful family. Okay. And look, she even has a cross on her hand doing the devil horn. Big smile for the devil. Ha ha ha. Okay. Beautiful young lady doing the devil horns. I mean, look at the views. 500,000 views. Oh, that's funny. It says at Leilani 1555. That is not me. That's not me. Okay. I'm Leilani for God. But the bottom line is these people, this whole family, this is crazy. I mean, wow. They done sold out the whole family for YouTube, fame, and fortune. Oh, man. That's sad. Anyway, back to me, Leilani for God. So yeah, I did these videos on Tokyo, and I was going over how Tokyo changed her name about 2 months ago to Leading for God. And then I started to follow and see if Tokyo was going to give up her own demonic ways, or if she was going to continue to do all of the things that the scripture says we should not do if we want to make it into heaven. All right. And so one of my videos, shout out to 8 with the 24, he shared this on his wall. where I talked about how Tokyo confessed to her deal with the devil. She said the Illuminati offered her a show, and later on down the line, she did shows on the Zeus network and Lifetime television. So she basically confessed. She told on herself that the Illuminati offered her some TV shows. She thought about it. She took time, but she went back and did the shows. Okay. And afterwards, Tokyo said that Zeus was the devil. And now Tokyo is going back on this. She's now back on the Zeus network. She's been bragging about it for the past few days. All right. So this was about a year ago. Tokyo Toni goes to New York, drags a fast food worker, and tells her to go back to her country. Tokyo goes around talking reckless to people. How can you tell somebody, a fast food worker, to go back to their country? Meanwhile, Tokyo Toni is originally from Dominican Republic. It says Shalana Hunter, Dominican Republic. Originally from the Dominican Republic, Toni moved to the States and served in the military. She has since been involved with the Kardashians because of her daughter, Blac Chyna, though not all of the press attention around her is positive. So how is Tokyo Toni over here telling people to go back to their country? That person should have said to her, no, Shalana, you go back to your country. Coming over here with all your devilry. And so, of course, we know Tokyo Toni has a very foul mouth. She cursed me out. She curses everybody out on the regular. And of course, there's a history through reality TV show. It's been documented and shown that Blac Chyna and her mom have a toxic and abusive relationship. And I watched one episode of a show that they did together on YouTube because they put it on there for free. And they were throwing furniture at each other, like household stuff off the kitchen counter. It got real dangerous. It got real dangerous. Like, it wasn't just verbal abuse. But speaking of verbal abuse, Tokyo Toni called Blac Chyna a mistake and a statutory rape baby. Okay, and Lovely T covered this 4 years ago. How do you call your own child that you popped out of your own body, called her a mistake and a statutory rape baby in public? All right, so it says here, Blac Chyna's mother got pregnant at 16 to a married man. Tokyo Toni reveals how she got pregnant at 16. Okay, and this is the man who was married, and I guess is who Tokyo Toni is accusing of statutory R-wording her. Exclusive, Blac Chyna's father is a career criminal who's been charged with almost 30 offenses and been convicted more than a dozen times for crimes including assault, theft, and battery. So it's not hard to imagine that he would have, R-worded or statutory R-worded Tokyo Toni. Now, I saw somebody sent me a clip not too long ago about Tokyo Toni, and it was a clip from that same Real Life Productions interview that I showed a little bit earlier. And Tokyo said that when Blac Chyna was a teenager, when she was still in high school, like 10th grade, that Blac Chyna had a boyfriend. And Tokyo Toni let the boyfriend move in to Tokyo Toni's house and live in with Chyna. And she said that the boyfriend was a drug dealer. And I'm thinking, is Tokyo Toni's drug addiction that bad that she would let a drug dealer move in her house with her and her daughter, her underage daughter, her daughter in 10th grade, right? So there's a pattern, right? So Tokyo Toni recently fell out with the Night and Day Network people who had been paying Tokyo to do interviews with her on their channel. And after Tokyo got paid, she tried to come back and say, give me more money. And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. And so Tokyo was talking bad about them. And they said one of the reasons we went in on Tokyo Toni is because she came to our comment section calling us broke and clout chasers. for calling her out and lying and saying underhanded stuff after we supported her financially. And she used our platform to attack Zeus, calling them trash, devils, demonic, and how they set her up and her daughter up. Tokyo is a liar. Okay? So Night and Day Network, they wind up calling out Tokyo Toni because after they paid her for interviews and let Tokyo Toni say that Zeus Network were demonic people, now Tokyo Toni has a new contract and is getting paid by the Zeus Network to participate in them creating more of their violent fighting type of reality TV. All right. So someone in the comments on the Night and Day Network section, when they were exposing Tokyo for basically lying, being a hypocrite, and going back to the Devil's Network, people wrote in the comments, they said Toni is living off of PPP loans, collecting funds for a fake company called HSN, ran off with her husband's car with another man, living in hotel rooms, drinking and buying pounds of weed and being very jealous of her own daughter. Now she's all happy because Zeus rehired her old ass, but little does she know it's a setup. Someone below that said Zeus is going to delete her and her daughter. They're going to be on the show also. Me and Tokyo Toni had words online talking about Night and Day call y'all fake. The way she talked about Zeus, they're lining her up. Her best friend, a guy friend, died in an accident 3 days later. She's getting a show on Zeus. She had to pay the powers that be to be sacrificed, allegedly her best friend. So these two people are saying Tokyo, her network is fake, which I talked about in one of my previous videos on Tokyo. That Tokyo took her husband's car and ran off with another man and has been living in hotel rooms, getting high and hating on her daughter. But now, all of a sudden, Tokyo's happy that she's back with the Zeus Network. The person below that is basically saying that they think that because Tokyo's best friend passed away a few days before Tokyo got the call back to act again on the Zeus Network, that maybe Tokyo's best friend was a sacrifice for Tokyo to get back into the television network. Here's an article from May 17th, which is just a few days ago. It says Tokyo Toni twerks her big clappers at the Baddies East auditions, reunites with Black Chyna. So it talks about how Tokyo Toni was twerking at the audition for Zeus Network's reality TV show Baddies East. It says that, so this is proof that a few days ago, Tokyo Toni was literally physically on a Zeus Network set for a show that they are producing called Baddies East. It says on May 12th, Toni and Chyna were selected to judge the audition event for Zeus Network's Baddies East in the DMV. After dealing with months of disparaging remarks from her mother online, it looks like the 35-year-old doctorate recipient has chosen to mend her troubled relationship with Toni. Black Chyna and Tokyo Toni mended their rough patch just in time for her birthday. Last Friday, the saved influencer took to Instagram with a sweet video that captured her hugging and smiling alongside her mama. Surprisingly, Tokyo donned a large tattoo of Chyna's real name, Angela, on the front of her chest. Okay, so apparently both Tokyo Toni and Black Chyna were hired to judge an audition for the Zeus Network's Baddies East reality show. All right, so it talks about Black Chyna having a doctorate and being saved. All right, I'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end of the video, that Black Chyna had received some type of doctorate in religious studies, and that Chyna claimed to be saved. But now, after all of that, after, all of that and getting baptized and Tokyo Toni changing her name to Leading for God, here they are now back doing violent, disrespectful, demonic reality television. Black Chyna just got her doctoral degree in liberal arts. Okay, so we see Black Chyna is wearing cross earrings. All right, this type of symbolism, the crosses, the Jesus jewelry, the Jesus pictures, all that stuff is a violation of the second commandment. Thou shalt not create any graven images. All right, but people do it all the time because they don't really worship God. They worship man and or the devil. All right, it says here, Black Chyna just got her doctoral degree in religious liberal arts, April 5th, 2023. Okay, and she supposedly said that she was going to rebrand herself. That was in April of 2023. A doctorate in religious liberal arts, a doctorate in theology, April 2023. May 2023, Chyna and her mother are hosting some type of event for Zeus Network's Baddies East. And I already talked in great detail about Zeus being a demonic character. Okay, so they are both back to working for the devil. It says here, Black Chyna says, I got baptized on 5/11/22. I was watching the video again and wanted to show you this because if you look closely at my mouth, you can hear the spirits leaving my body. God is good. So Black Chyna got baptized on May 11th, 2022. If she just got the religious studies doctorate in April of this year of 2023, a year later, that means that she was studying for it and going to classes for it at the time that she got baptized in May of 2022. Now, when the guy dipped her back in the pool, when she popped back up, she was like, she was choking, which is very weird because the man covered her face and her mouth with his hand and he only dipped her for a second. So she came up choking and she's saying that means you can hear the spirits leaving her body. Okay, and below that, the headline says, Black Chyna gets baptized after being accused of kicking a woman in the stomach. Okay, now, if she got baptized back in, she says, May 11, 2022, then why, 3 months ago, which would have been February of 2023, did she show up to the Grammys in a demonic devil costume? This thing has wings like a fallen angel. The makeup was tragic. She looked casket ready. It's all black and it's just ugly, ugly, ugly. It really shows that she's still very much heavily, deeply into her worship of the devil. She's standing there taking pictures by the CBS sign, which is the one-eye symbol, at the Grammys, which we all know is for celebrities to worship themselves and each other. And at that time, it says Black Chyna's mom, Tokyo Toni, rips her Grammys award dress. Tokyo talked about how Black Chyna's in the Devil's Network. Black Chyna is not known for being a recording artist. So why was she even invited to the Grammys? And why does she dress up like a demonic spirit? Okay. So let's see. Where are we? Here we are. The next one says, was Tokyo Toni right about Black Chyna faking for the Lord? And it says, back to her old ways. The video description says, she may have been right, considering recently Black Chyna is promoting a birthday party at Wonderland Strip Club in New York. Is this appropriate or not? Let me know what you think in the comments. So the person made this video 2 weeks ago. All right. So Black Chyna started studying for her religious doctorate, at least back in 2022, got baptized in 2022, got the doctorate in 2023, and is now back on Zeus Network promoting violent television shows, back in a strip club. The mother is still twerking after changing her name to Leading for God. I would definitely say they're both back to their old ways. Black Chyna returns back to the streets after being a born-again Christian. Below that, Black Chyna and Krishan together at a hotel preparing for Baddies East. This was just 10 days ago. 6 days ago, Khloe Kardashian reveals why Black Chyna is faking her new change. It says Black Chyna stuns fans with unexpected Kim Kardashian support. Okay, so Black Chyna gets her religious degree, gets baptized, goes back to the strip club, back to violent reality television shows, back to supporting the Kardashians, okay, who I've talked about already in great detail in my video about Goomba-ass woman who cursed Token Jag. I talked about the whole history of witchcraft with the Kardashians. Okay, this is on Tokyo Toni's channel, Leading for God. The person said a few days ago, I like Tokyo. She's real and about her business, and I would love to see her on Baddies. F that. Tokyo can do her own show too. I'm for it. I loved her last show too. Money. Get it, Tokyo. Here's Tokyo as Leading for God. Yep. Okay. There's nothing godly about that violent reality show where all those contestants do is beat each other up. She's talking about Tokyo getting her own show on the Zeus Network and said that she liked the last show that Tokyo had on the Zeus Network. So aside from her and her daughter beating each other up on a Lifetime network, Tokyo did a show on the Zeus Network. I think it was like a dating show, like Tokyo was looking for love or something like that. So it was just a whole lot of nonsense or whatever. I think I saw the first episode free on YouTube and I was just like, this can't be serious. But anyway, this person is supporting it. She's saying, get the money, Tokyo, even though the shows are ungodly and demonic, get your money. And Tokyo says, yep. Okay, I don't know why Tokyo is calling herself Leading for God. That reminds me, I had a bad dream about Tokyo. So the dream I had about her, I was not able to interfere. I was only watching from a distance. It looked like Tokyo was walking across what looked like it could be something like a college campus or a college town. Because there were like huge buildings and surrounded by a lot of grass, the way a campus would look. And she was walking towards a store, and the store kind of looked like what a gift shop would look like on a college campus, where you could go in there and buy like sweaters and keychains and paraphernalia, you know, like of the school or the college or whatever. And a guy, he looked young, like he could be a teenager or in his early 20s. He was riding a bike, but he was wearing a devil costume. He had on a head mask and a full body suit, but it looked like a young guy just wearing a devil costume, riding his bike, but he was following Toni, watching her. And she saw him looking at her when she noticed him, like, okay, I see you staring me down from a distance, but I'm just going to keep going and minding my business. When Tokyo reached the bookstore, she looked at the guy, let him know, like, I see you. And when she got inside the bookstore, she walked around the store and she came to a part of the window from inside the store, and she still saw the guy on the bike in the devil costume staring at her from outside. So she went over to the glass and she started cursing him out from where she was inside the store, but she's like yelling at him through the glass, like, I see you staring at me, stop following me, you know, blah, blah, blah. So as she's doing that, two much bigger men in devil costumes approached the store. And as they were going in, Tokyo was distracted by yelling at the first guy that she noticed was following her on the bike. So she didn't see the other two guys coming in the store behind her. And they looked at the guy on the bike before they went inside the store. They said to the guy on the bike, don't worry, we got her. We got this. And I want to say that the two guys, their devil costumes were way more scarier. They look way more realistic. Those guys were way taller than the kid on the bike, and they just look much bigger and stronger. And I felt the fear for Tokyo. I'm just like, girl, you don't even know. There's two big old demons coming up behind you while you cursing out the small one. And that was the dream. I don't know what happened to Tokyo, but I do know from the videos I've done on her in the past that just in the past few months of this year alone, she got into a big argument with her husband on live, and she accused her husband of stealing like $10,000 or $15,000 from her. And then shortly after that, she separated from her husband and has been staying in a motel ever since. Since she's been at the motel, she posted and deleted a video where she said that someone broke into her car and stole all of her valuables out of her car. She was in tears, okay, when she made that video. And then just about a week ago, Tokyo made another video where she said that a close male friend of hers broke into her motel room, stole her laptop, her expensive clothes, her expensive shoes, and some more valuables, and was calling her phone repeatedly like a stalker. And also, that's another thing Tokyo's been complaining about. She's been getting like an unlimited amount of people calling her phone, harassing her. So just this year alone, she said that her husband robbed her. Then who knows who robbed her car at the motel. And she said she does know who robbed her motel room. So that's 3 men who robbed her this year. She's had a lot of arguments, of course, as usual. And it just seems like Tokyo is haunted, okay, by some demonic spirits in real life, not just in the dream that I had. So she needs to stop playing with God and get it together, because these demons are on her behind. So, over a month ago, in my comment section, Miss Shauna said the Plasmatics, the name of the band Tokyo Toni's daddy was in, was a hugely famous band. Someone commented underneath that, her dad did an interview, it's out there. He doesn't claim Toni, and said he has one grown child with his wife. She wasn't raised by him. He doesn't want anything to do with her. When asked about her, he laughed and played dumb. She does look like him, but he doesn't want any parts of her. Okay. It was also covered by Lipstick Alley back in 2016, 7 years ago, that Black Chyna's grandfather is T.C. Tolliver from the Plasmatics. He has interviews on YouTube. Okay, drummer T.C. Tolliver interview back in 2008, talking about his time touring with the Plasmatics. The comment section says, Tokyo Toni brought me here. I just got finished watching an interview and she mentioned this was her father. And I looked him up and here he is, and she's right. Wow, who would have known? T.C. Tolliver, let's see what kind of music this band makes. The Plasmatics. Okay, so, these people look very, very weird. This is Tokyo Toni's father here. The guy behind him has the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the top tattoo on his head. Okay, let me see Tokyo Toni's father here. Looking young. Let's see what kind of music they make. Put Your Love in Me, Stop, Rock and Roll, Lightning Breaks. You know that lightning is a reference to the devil. No Class, Mistress of Taboo. Devil people always are into things that are taboo. If it's disgusting, if it's cringy, if it's demonic, if it's evil, if it's dark, if it's bloody, if it's against what is socially acceptable, they're all about it. Country fairs, path of glory, just like on TV, the damned. Okay, so they have a song called The Damned. The damned are people who are going to hell. T.C. Tolliver performed with Judas Priestess. Okay, so we know Judas is a biblical character who betrayed Jesus, who turned Jesus over to be killed. T.C. Tolliver in the C4 Experience, I guess he drummed with that group as well, on a song called Gates of Hell. Okay, so notice he's performing with people who do the devil horns, who identify with Judas, who, make songs called Gates of Hell, The Damned. Here is Pure Hell with T.C. Tolliver. So I guess this is a band called Pure Hell. And T.C. Tolliver is pictured here hanging out with them. He's got a demonic t-shirt on, as usual. Okay, guys? So this is what I'm talking about when I talk about the devil's network. All right, scripture. These scriptures are from the first 5 books, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. Numbers 14 and 18. It says, the Lord is slow to anger, abounding in love, and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation. Deuteronomy 5 and 9. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord, your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me. Okay, guys? And so this is why I took the time to point out the type of music that T.C. Tolliver makes. Okay? The type of people that he associates with. The devil horns. The devil symbolism. Okay? The whole idea of hell in promoting demonic concepts. That is the behavior of people who hate God. People who intentionally work with the devil are intentionally being disrespectful and disobedient to the Creator who put their own soul in their body. People make a conscious decision to worship the devil. And what happens is that energy, that toxic rebelliousness gets passed down genetically to the offspring. Because I have not heard Black Chyna nor Tokyo Toni speak badly about Tokyo Toni's mom. Both Tokyo Toni and Black Chyna have said that Tokyo Toni's mom is a good person. So they were not raised wrong by the mom. I think that their demonic spirits and their inability to really make a real commitment to God is coming from their father. It's coming from Tokyo Toni's father. His demonic spirit has produced these serpent seeds who use God only for mockery and for personal gain. But we see what happens to these kind of people. Things never really work out for them. It's always a problem. It's always drama. It's always negativity because the devil's network is full of bad people. So things are not going to go right just because you decide to worship the devil instead of the Creator. It doesn't make anyone's life easier. It only makes their lives harder. So I just want to encourage everyone to work on your relationship with God. Study the first 5 books and the 10 commandments. Follow, practice, apply the 10 commandments to your life. I'm going to do another video either tonight or tomorrow about actually strengthening your relationship with God and the difference between types of people in the Bible. I'm not sure if it showed up for you guys, but my phone just gave me a alert that said daily gratitude, and I just dismissed it. But every day I do a gratitude log to God. I say, praise God. thank you. I am so grateful and thankful. And I make a list of all the things that I can be thankful and grateful for. And I've been doing that every day. I'm past a month, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. That's why I set the alarm to do it, because if we don't have a practice of appreciating everything that God has done for us, we can so easily become frustrated and upset with life that we start becoming evil and mean and wicked and demonic. Like, you really have to practice having your relationship with God so you could see things the way that they are and not be influenced to go against God because you think you're going to get paid, or you're going to be rich, you're going to be famous, you're going to have a come up. It's not going to work. It's not the way. The only way to really enjoy your life and get the most out of it is to have that relationship with the Creator. So with that, guys, I want y'all to stay blessed, and I'll see y'all in my next video.